Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to Track 3, Day 3 of the Big O 2018. I'm
Woo.
Scarlett O'Hurtia.
I am Loose Change.
And we are here for a men's bout today, third game of the day on Track 3. We're going to see the Lane County Concussion take on the Dakota Men's Roller Derby Norsemen. So we're going to go ahead and run down some rosters because we have about a minute until our game starts. So I will start with Lane County Concussion. They will be wearing the black jerseys. And we have number 010, Dragon Balls. Number 12, Dr. Multiclass PhD. 13, Photobomb. 1998, Inspector Spaceman. 26, Zoom and Gloom. 2612, Scooby Smack. 32, GQ. 42, Grimes. 50, Hot Fuzz. 55, James Brains. 665, Full Frontal Nerdity. Number 69, Dr. B. Number 7, Ayo. And 9653, Dennis the Red Menace. 969, Cutthroat Callie. And number 5, Sergeant Pepper.
And for the Dakota Men's Roller Derby Norsemen, we've got number 0, Johnson. 15, Keefe. 16, Kintz. 17, Sarcasm. 4, 21, Lib Brawl. 5, Han. 7, Evan Rude. 79, Colonel Angus. And 85, 20 Babies. 20 Babies is actually not a person. It is actually just 20 babies that skate around in a trench coat.
Oh my God. Like old school cartoon. They're all stacked up one after the other. I've wanted to ask him actually how he got that name. I've gotten around to it. Maybe I'll do that at halftime because it's been a mystery all weekend long, and it's so fun to just say 20 babies have taken the track.
20 babies has gone to the penalty box. 20 babies barreling toward me. There's just so many options.
So both of these teams have had a fair number of games this weekend. The Norsemen beat Houston, and I believe
they lost to the Mayhem out of Baja California, Mexico.
And we are ready to start things off. Up first on the line in the black jersey and muscle fiber patterned tights.
I'm gonna stare at those tights all day long.
That's gonna be Dr. Oh no, sorry, not Doctor. I lost. Yeah, it is. It's Dr. B. I thought so, but I lost my spot. And then from the Norsemen.
From the Norsemen, that is number 15, Keefe. Little bit of a difference here. Lane County Concussion has 15 skaters?
Well, this is their home base. They're the brother league to the Emerald City Roller Derby, who is our gracious host here for Big O 2018.
Whoa.
They didn't have to travel quite so far. Dakota had a little bit of a commute.
There's 10 of them for the Dakota.
Hey, I saw a women's game last night and today where they had a roster of 8 and won both of those games. So 10 is not insurmountable. Up first, we've got Keefe for Dakota going up against Dr. B for Lane County. And speaking of awesome tights,
woo!
Number 12, Dr. Multiclass PhD has some epic tights on. And there is some epic falling going all over the place. And we have just hit turn 1.
But we've got our lead jammer. That is for Lane County Concussion. That is number 69, Dr. B. Dr. B making his way, comes up to that wall of white, picks up 1 point, calls it off. Lane County Concussion is on the board. The Norsemen remain scoreless.
A little bit of a difference here. So not only does Dakota have a roster of 10, but we also have a roster of all men. And Lane County has 3 ladies on their team, and they are pretty killer. In the last game I called for Lane County, Scooby Smack was one blocker that I kept talking about over and over again. She's currently on the track right now and is one of their more agile blockers. So keep an eye on her. But right now, who are our jammers?
Jammers, we've got for Concussion 42, Grimes. And lead jammer status right now goes to
Evan Rude.
Yes, number 7 for the Norsemen, Evan Rude.
Whistles blown all over the place. We're going to have some short, fast jams, it seems like. 1 point for each team on that jam. And as we are regrouping, it looks like, oh, no, it was actually 2 points for Lane and 1 for Dakota. So 3-1, we're heading into jam number 3. And I also have to point out Lane County's bench coaches are phenomenal because they went with the Star Wars team the first day. They looked fantastic yesterday, and today they are Wayne and Garth from Wayne's World. It's fantastic. But out on the track, fantastic action happening with 20 babies jamming against your lead jammer, Hot Fuzz.
Garth shouting to all of their skaters on the track saying, "Watch the fuzz!" As Hot Fuzz works his way through, picks up 5 points.
Initial pass completed for 20 babies. But right as they hit the pack, the jam is called. 2 points for Lane County, and the Norsemen held scoreless. Score is currently 10-1, 7 points for Lane on that last jam. 26 and some change minutes left in the first half. Who is jamming?
We've got Sarcasm out there for the Norsemen with Dr. B again for the Concussion. I did that last time, well, yesterday, when I announced for the collision.
Multiplayer block called on Lane County Inspector Spaceman, and Dr. B is your lead jammer on a power jam with Sarcasm sent to the penalty box. So we've got an abbreviated pack on a power jam. Lib Brawl forcing a pullback all the way past that pivot line. Dr. B having to recycle and squeeze through that block of white. We have a multiplayer block penalty. Second multiplayer block penalty we've seen in this jam, this time for Kintz from Dakota.
Meanwhile, Colonel Angus seems to have Dr. B's number. Little hit to the inside, little hit to the outside, causing him to reshuffle all the way almost back to that jammer line. But Dr. B is able to make his way through, picks up 5 points as he is coming up to the pack. Nice little jump over there around the turn. Picks up another 4 points for the Concussion. Dr. B coming up against that wall of Norsemen. Works his way through for another 5.
Both jammers back into the fray. And Dr. B gets through for another grand slam. 19 points so far in this jam alone. Oh, hard fall right at the apex by Sarcasm. And another grand slam goes to Lane County. 34-1, Lane County running away with the scoreboard.
And with that, jam is ended. Looks like we've got 1 in the penalty box for the Concussion.
And 3 points for Lane County on that last pass, courtesy of Dr. B, who now has the highest point total in a single jam for this game so far with 27 on jam number 4.
At the jam line, we've got Grimes for Lane County Concussion going up against Keefe for the Norsemen.
And we have a wrist guard that has fallen off completely. That is Johnson, number 0 for Dakota. And we have a penalty called on Lib Brawl from Dakota.
With that lead jammer status going to Grimes for Concussion.
You know, on the official roster that we're handed and on his jersey, it just says Grimes, but the scoreboard says Grimes and Punishment. So I'm not sure which one I like more. Oh, we're playing Leapfrog now in the straightaway. And we have a destruction call for Lane County as Keefe out of play, engagement. Heads to the penalty box, so this is yet another power jam for Lane County. And Grimes landing a beautiful apex jump over two Dakota defenders. Dakota with a pack advantage 4-3, but Lane County with the only jammer on the track.
Grimes clears, picks up another 5 points and calls off the jam. Personally, I kind of like just Grimes rather than Grimes and Punishment, because then it makes me think of Rick Grimes from The Walking Dead. And yeah, so that's my preference when it comes to his name.
And trying to make sure that he doesn't miss the opportunity. Sarcasm just crashed into the pack. And Hot Fuzz now crashing into the pack as well, but this time he's doing it as a jammer, trying to rack up some points. And he is declared lead and is pushed out in the apex toward the outside.
Nice hit there by Sarcasm, causing him to have to recycle. But he's through and lead jammer. Meanwhile, Keefe has been released from the penalty box, is working his way, attempting to work his way past that just wall of blockers that just doesn't seem to be given any kind of an inch. Meanwhile, another 5 points picked up for Hot Fuzz.
Look at that toe stop work right there in the front. Number 32 from Lane County, GQ, anchoring that two-person defense. Scooby Smack again. Super agile and gets sent to the penalty box, unfortunately. And Lane County jammer Hot Fuzz calling it off right as he approaches the apex, grabs 4 points on that last pass. And we have lots of cheers and high fives and woots going on at the Lane County bench. 14 points on that last jam.
Evan Rude with the star, jamming for the Norsemen, going up against Dr. B.
Evan Rude takes a knee pretty much right off the line. And we've got a tag team of tag team tripod. Johnson anchoring that with Kintz. But Dr. B gets through. Oh, but your lead jammer is Evan Rude.
Dr. B just clears Evan, and Evan Rude decides to call it off. That is 0 points for both teams.
So this is the first time that the Dakota team has grabbed lead jammer status here in this game, but they have remained scoreless since jam number 2. So Lane County running away with the scoreboard, but the Norsemen are not giving up by any means. We've got a little shuffling going on the track as players are in the penalty box. Who's jamming?
Well, jamming, we've got number 85. That is 20 babies for the Norsemen, while Hot Fuzz has donned the star for the Concussion again.
Hot Fuzz with a leisurely stroll around the track. No real rush. Less than 20 minutes left in the first half. Norsemen pivot Johnson, shoving Hot Fuzz to the outside, forcing a fallback all the way to the jam line before re-engaging. Beautiful hit there by Liberal. But Scooby Smacks manages to stay in bounds and is now the point of the tripod, holding back 20 babies at the moment. Hot Fuzz with some fast footwork in turn 2. Grabs a grand slam.
"20 babies taking the star off." Looks like we have a star pass to 0, who is Johnson for Norsemen.
Yeah, and their last game that I saw of theirs, their pivot Johnson was actually a really reliable pivot and was one you could be counted on to hand off the star to and have them score some points. So we've got a penalty being issued on 20 Babies, but he's no longer the jammer. Looks like Johnson has yet to put the helmet cover on his helmet, and Dakota has yet to make their initial pass, and it seems like Johnson is purely going on the defensive. He's not even trying to move forward as the jammer. Maybe he forgot he has that helmet cover in his hand? Or he's just trying to distract him. I'm not sure. 25 points on that jam for Lane County, courtesy of Hot Fuzz. $91 points for Lane County at the moment. Dakota remain at 1.
And we've got a team timeout being called by the Norsemen. Want to give just a real quick... okay, let's be real, guys. You're watching roller derby for a reason. It's because you like roller derby. We have the 2018 WFTDA Continental Cups. They're new this year that the WFTDA is putting forward. It's going to be some really amazing best in region derby, created through some great competitive brackets with some of the new ranking system that's in place. We've got 3 different Continental Cups that are going to be happening: Kalamazoo, Michigan, Omaha, Nebraska, and Birmingham, United Kingdom. Go check out the WFTDA.com website for all of that information about the Continental Cups. I'm gonna be there one way or another, whether I have a microphone in hand or whether I am just screaming my lungs out, because 2 of the 3 of those locations are within driving distance from me.
Oh, that's exciting.
I know.
None of them are within driving distance for me.
Sometimes living in the Midwest helps.
I'm kind of the far end of the South, so that's okay, though. We get hurricanes, so that's fun. But I am really excited. I am really excited, though, because I'm going to be really close to champs for WFTDA, which is going to be in New Orleans this year.
I know.
Yeah, and we've got playoffs in Atlanta. So South, you guys get the Continental Cups up in the North and the Midwest. We'll take the championship stuff, and I will take the jammers that we have on the line currently. Grimes donning the star for Lane County,
and Sarcasm for the Norsemen. Lane County is your lead jammer. That is Grimes, working his way through, made his initial pass, coming up on his scoring pass, able to clear those blockers. Ooh.
Sarcasm shoved out of bounds to the infield, is a little slow to get up, and seems like he might be feeling a little bit of pain, but he's back up under his own power and is back into the action. Forced to recycle after being shoved across the infield, but no cutting the track because he corrected before standing upright. And a grand slam for Grimes, with a full complement of blockers for both teams on the track.
Grimes able to find a hole through that wall of Norsemen blockers, gets another 5 points.
Grimes, good track awareness there. Skirts by on a 1-toe stop on the outside lane.
And we've got a star pass. Lib Brawl has the star in hand now for the Norsemen. And he is met with the wall of concussion blockers.
Grimes with another grand slam as he makes his way through that. Pack 25 points so far. And we have a penalty being issued on one of the Norsemen blockers. That is number 5, Han. And Sarcasm is feeling some pain there. I'm wondering if it's a quad. That's what he seems to be babying at the moment. So we hope he's okay, and they have such a small roster that it really will be a huge impact if they lose anyone. Out on the jam line with the brightest purple pants I have ever seen.
Keefe.
Going up against Dr. B. See, look at that agility by Scooby Smack. And Dr. B getting thrown from one side of the track to the other, but then uses the chaos when half of the pack falls down to jump out in front and grab lead jammer status.
Both jammers coming up against those walls of blockers. Dr. B being assessed a penalty for track cut.
Uh-oh, so no lead jammer, full 2-minute jam.
Meanwhile, Keefe has 3 blockers to beat. No, only two blockers to beat now. And he is pushing.
And we're coming up on that 20-foot engagement zone. Keefe going toe-to-toe, quite literally, with Loki Charm. Oh, sorry, no, that is Photobomb. Skating, I was looking at the wrong roster. That's my fault. So, Keefe now on a scoring pass. Forearm penalty being called on Lane County. No, not Grimes. That is GQ with a forearm penalty. Meanwhile, Dr. B gets out for 4 points, but hey, Keefe answering with 4 as well. We're neck and neck here in jam number 10. Scooby Smack forcing a pullback about 50 feet. Make that 60. Keefe now on a second scoring pass, and I will be shocked if he doesn't get a back blocking penalty. Yep, there we go. Back blocking penalty issued on Keefe for shoving down Scooby Smack as he tried to re-engage with the pack. Nice track awareness there by Han from Dakota.
Dr. B is through, picked up another 5 points. Jam called, total of looks like 9 for Lane County added there, 7 for the Norsemen. And we have a timeout, official review. What?
It's an official review out on the track, which gives us an opportunity to thank our officials, our non-skating officials, Darby O'Kill, Rabid Derby Fan, Ren Stoic, Justice Deliver Her, Loki Doki, Sheer Malice, Snarkamedes, Masquerade Sawed Off, and our skating officials.
So, is this STO Nasty or Stow Nasty?
I think it's Stow Nasty.
Stow Nasty. Stow Nasty, Umpire Strikes Back, Lobo Cop, Pete in the Pool, Danger Muffin, Don Scorleone, and Julius Caesar.
We can't play the game without these officials, so we appreciate them greatly. And we also appreciate the AV team here at Clover Cup. I looked at the green jerseys and then was transported back in time here at Big O because they are making sure that we have those mics in the center of the track so the referees can explain the official reviews to us and we don't have to play a weird game of telephone. However, if they forget that there's a microphone in the middle of the track, we are going to make up some shenanigans for what the review is called for.
Well, of course. Isn't that what our job, isn't that in our job description?
Entertainment! So that review again was called by
the Norsemen.
Oh, hey, we didn't mention on that last jam, Keefe managed to put 7 points on the board. That is the highest point scored thus far for the Norsemen, and they had not previously scored in the previous 7 jams. So props to Keefe for getting those points on the board for the Norsemen.
Dakota was challenging the back block call against their jammer in the last jam. That call will stand and they lose their official review.
Alrighty. Well, there you have it, folks.
And with that, since we have the Norseman jammer still, or in, I guess not still, but in the penalty box, this will be a power start for Hot Fuzz of the Concussion.
So the Norsemen have a full complement of blockers out on the track. The Concussion have a full complement of blockers out on the track. And Hot Fuzz, the lone jammer, very fast feet by the entire pack as they head into turn 1. But Hot Fuzz shrugging off blockers left and right now is your lead jammer for Lane County.
Keefe has been released from the penalty box, will be coming up to start his initial pass.
Beautiful hop there right over the edge of the apex by Keefe.
And just as Keefe's coming to pick up some points, it gets called off. So that is 5 points for Lane County. Dakota Norsemen held scoreless.
134-8 with under 12 minutes left here in the first half. You are watching the Dakota Norsemen in the white and the Lane County Concussion in the black. I am Scarlett O'Hurtia.
I am Loose Change.
And we are back to the action in jam number 12 with who?
Loose. Yeah.
You're
wow,
Loose Change.
I'm Loose Change. Evan Rude is jamming for the Norsemen, but your lead jammer has been established from the Lane County Concussion. That is number 42, Grimes.
Evan Rude having to contend with this one-on-one defense that Lane County is working right now. And it looks like we have Lib Brawl heading back to the penalty box.
A little bit of jammer on jammer jostling going on. Having some blocking.
I think Grimes is just trying to Grimes is just trying to kill that penalty time. And Evan Rude
just wants to cuddle.
Yeah, basically he had a little booty shake as he was being blocked backwards by Grimes. Just shaking things up a little bit. Gotta have some fun while you're at it.
And Grimes with the jump picks up a big 4 points, calls it right as he's landing. But Evan Rude able to pick up 1 in response at least.
There you go. That's how you do it. You gotta have one point at a time, chip away ever so gradually. And hey, I gotta give points to Evan Rude for being the most entertaining jammer so far in that last jam.
Absolutely.
And if he can shake his booty, he needs to be at the after party. But we'll talk about that later. Right now I want to talk about the jammers we have out on the track, one of which is
Dr. B, who is your lead jammer for Lane County Concussion. Nice hit to the inside there by Lib Brawl, recycling Dr. B a little bit. Meanwhile, Zarkasm has made his initial pass coming into scoring position, but it is called off. Dr. B picks up 4, calls it off before Zarkasm can score any for the Norsemen.
I'm glad to see Zarkasm back into the mix because he did not look like he was feeling well when he exited the track a couple jams ago. So I don't know if our great medical team had anything to do with that or if he just needed a breather. But good to see Dakota still with a full roster because they are still in it.
In it to win it. And with that, we've got 20 babies on the track.
No, seriously, they're everywhere. 20 babies everywhere.
It's the most confusing roller derby I've ever seen.
But it's adorable. Just kidding. Hot Fuzz is your jammer for Lane County, and he's currently lead as we have a very scrummy pack up at turn 1. No jammer into the mix, but they're just throwing each other around, jostling for position. Oh, sorry, no, take that back. 20 babies was in the pack, but he doesn't have the helmet cover on, so he threw me off.
They do that. It's like they're trying to confuse us.
Tricky, tricky.
Number 7, Evan Rude. Oh, golly. Just dropped kind of right onto his butt and just sort of sat there for a split second, popped right back up. And I think we have... Oh, nope. 20 Babies is still at the front, trying to work his way past those last couple of concussion blockers.
Yeah, but they're getting dangerously close to being out of the engagement zone. And oh my goodness, Hot Fuzz leaving blockers in his wake, taking out the entire Dakota defensive contingent as he makes that curve around the apex, grabs 5 points. And look at this, 20 babies, free and clear out of the pack and eligible to score points. Dakota yelling so loud, put your star on. That's the problem with the star stash. If you forget that you've stashed the star,
You can't score points.
you gotta put it back on or the points don't count.
And points don't count. That means you don't get them. We want all the points.
All the points. Give us all the points.
And we have Keefe coming back, going up against the delightful Grimes.
This is the loudest pack in terms of what I'm hearing on like the track volume. Lots of wheels very heavily hitting the track.
Not only that, but lots of communication amongst all of the skaters as well.
Yeah, Grimes snuck through that pack with very little resistance that go round. I will say that Lane County has become increasingly talented at kind of causing anarchy, and that seems to be a strategy that works for them. Like, just cause chaos, and that way our jammers can sneak through the chaos.
I mean, you know, organized chaos is one of the best strategies. I was calling about a little bit earlier on Saturday, and it was skaters, you know, they would start at the pivot line, and then they would run back when it was like 3 seconds, and of course the other team would be at the pivot line too, and it was, you know, lead jammer status within like 5 feet was basically being established, because they had that, you know, kind of that surprise and confusion happening.
The element of surprise, never underestimate it. And on that last jam, never underestimate Keefe. He grabbed 2 points, but now we are heading into jam number 16 with Sarcasm jamming for Dakota.
And Dr. B is your lead jammer for the Concussion.
Sarcasm takes a hard hit to the outside. And it looks like it was, we're going to have an out of play penalty assessed on
That's Han.
Han. And Sarcasm being thrown around like a ping pong ball, or a pinball, I guess you could say. Dr. B grabs a grand slam on that pass. And we have number 12, Dr. Multiclass PhD, heading to the penalty box for Lane County.
Dr. B with a nice little spin around that final Norseman blocker puts 4 on the board for the Concussion. And just like that, finds and utilizes that outside line for another 5. Well, we do have a star pass to Thudwig for the Norsemen. This is the first time we're seeing Thudwig with the star on. And unfortunately, it doesn't last very long because Dr. B calls the jam off.
11 points still for Dakota. 16 points on that jam for Lane County, courtesy of Dr. B. And we are now at 183 to 11. We're heading into jam number 17. We got 40 minutes. 40. Woo, that would be a long game.
40 more minutes.
Oh, no. We have 4 minutes left in the first half. And who is jamming now?
Evan Rude with the star for the Norsemen. And then we also have, that is a new one, number 55, James Brains with the star for the Concussion.
Now look at this. Lead jammer goes to Evan Rude. He is the only Dakota jammer to have received lead jammer status, and this is now his second time to do so.
James Brains not too far behind, coming up into point scoring position himself.
We had a ref take himself out on the outside lane. Evan Rude grabs 2 points. And
James Brains grabs 2 points as well.
Two all. And we have about 3 minutes left in the first half. Got a little bit of shuffling going on the floor. Dakota's bench coach running out to issue a helmet cover to 20 Babies, who is now jamming for the team in white.
And lead jammer for the Concussion, that is number 42, Grimes. Grimes finds a hole on that outside line, utilizes it, picks up 5 points real fast as he is skating around trying to attempt another pass through.
Pack at a standstill. We had two very definitive defensive formations. We have a cutting the track penalty being assessed on the pivot for Lane County. That is photobomb.
20 babies just coming up against that wall of concussion blockers. Not getting a lot of offense assistance, but with that, of course, as per usual, as soon as I say something, something else happens. Star pass to Johnson for the Norsemen.
And I'm wondering if he got any points on that.
Looks like he picked up 3 points for the Norsemen.
There we go. Maybe they're just now hitting their stride. 20 points on that last jam for Grimes and Lane County Concussion.
Norsemen pumping up the crowd by wooing themselves for themselves.
Keefe now jamming for the Norsemen.
And Dr. B, lead jammer for the Concussion. Dr. B makes his initial pass coming up on point scoring pass, picks up 5 points. Meanwhile, Keefe coming up against that wall of blockers with Evan Rude trying to give some assistance.
Swing and a miss by Evan Rude. Bit of a baseball slide across the track. Dr. B hits that pack, and Dakota, I will say one thing on their defense that they keep doing is they're not taking up the whole track. So they're leaving up a fair amount of space. They're kind of bunching up to make sure that they're together, but they're leaving way too much space on either the outside or the inside lane specifically. And Lane County definitely taking advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. And there we have just, prime example. When they have that opportunity to wall up, they are very formidable.
The name Norsemen is an apt name for this team. Just based on physical appearance alone. But Lane County really running away with that scoreboard. But, even whenever it's a blowout, it is still a learning experience. And we can already see the Norsemen starting to hit their stride. And you never know. Things can happen in the second half. Things could get a little crazy. But right now, we are heading into intermission. And right before we ended that first half, we had Dr. B with a 23-point jam. Keefe shut out on that last one. Any thoughts, Luce, heading into halftime?
I love the Norsemen. They're not that far away. One of the teams that I'm lucky to announce for is the Minnesota Men's Roller Derby, and the Norsemen and the Minnesota Men's play each other very frequently. They're a delightful group of guys who always enjoy having the chance to come out and play roller derby, so I know that they're always going to have fun, which is, rule number 1 when it comes to derby.
Right on. Well, with that being said, we are going to take a few minutes to crunch some numbers to come back to you in about 8 minutes with some lovely analysis of the first half. So I'm Scarlett Ahurtia.
I'm Loose Change.
And we'll see you back here in about 8 minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the second half of the Dakota Norsemen taking on the Lane County Concussion here at Big O 2018. I'm Scarlett Ahurtia.
I'm Loose Change.
And we are ready for the exciting conclusion of this game. We're starting off jam number 1 of the second half with...
That is Dr. B jamming for the Lane County Concussion.
And heading to the penalty box.
Oh, yes, indeed. Which is going to give Keefe the opportunity for a power jam for the Norsemen. Keefe hit to the inside, recycling back to that apex, while another concussion member is taking a trip to that penalty box. So looks like Keefe's only got 3 to beat. No, 2 to beat. Working his way past, does clear it, but gets sucked back in just a little bit. Keefe is your lead jammer.
This is Keefe's first time to get lead jammer status in this game, and this is the exact same matchup that we had in the first half of the first. Yeah, in the first half of this game. I almost said the first half of the first game. First half of this game, however, Keefe now in control of that clock. Dr. B through on his initial pass. Keefe calling off the jam from the ground.
He's twisting his feet around, making sure stuff's still good.
Is everything still attached? All the ankle bits.
It was a little bit bendy in ways that probably feet shouldn't be bent type of a thing happening.
A little bit of a limp off, but he does manage to roll off the track. And the referees are getting rather frustrated because everyone was stalled and not trying to hurry up to get on the track. We had a timeout called. I believe it was an official timeout. And we are heading into jam number 2. 3 points for Keefe on that first jam, and Lane County shut out thanks to Dr. B's penalty visit. And Evan Rude just took himself out, or a sniper, it was a sniper.
Somebody was actually ghost dancing and tripped him. You couldn't see it.
Sweep the leg.
Exactly. Cobra Kai.
And the officials are conferring. We're not quite sure what about. They are speaking with one of the NSOs, not just the Zebras, conferring. So that gives me a chance to tell you guys about the penalties in the first half. Surprisingly, not too many from either team. Only one player really in any sort of danger. They're really at that tipping point, and that is number 5 from Dakota, Han, who has 4 penalties. Everyone else at 3 or less, and not too many to worry about. And then on the Lane County side, 1 player with 3 penalties. That is Inspector Spaceman. Everyone else with 2 or less. So 13 penalties total for Lane County, and nobody really in penalty trouble just yet. I think we've just seen a lot of people go once, and they've come at inopportune moments.
Well, that's good. Keep it up, gents. You're doing good, folks.
Evan Rude is a dancing machine, man.
It is Sunday afternoon. What is better on a Sunday afternoon than to get down with your bad self?
Some jam line dancey.
Now, if Grimes will only get in on this dancing, we can have some jammer dance off.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Grimes actually responsible largely for a lot of the AV that's gone into this tournament. I believe Big O has stepped up its AV game this year, despite technical difficulties that were not the fault of the crew. Grimes put in a lot of work into making sure Big O comes across on a stream for all you lovely people watching at home.
And let me just tell you, as someone who's traveled here, $30 or 30, 35, 40, whatever, the purchase for the stream for the weekend still heck of a lot more reasonable than a flight over here and food and lodging and everything for the 4 days or so.
Mm-hmm.
So just, something to take into consideration and say, yeah, it's doing pretty good.
Now that the refs have conferred about their after party plans or whatever it is that refs talk about in the center, we are going to get back to the action on the track with Evan Rude jamming for Dakota.
And Grimes still on there. Not dancing yet either.
Game face Grimes.
Some tight walls there, but Evan Rude is through and your lead jammer. He channeled that and used that power of dance.
Beautiful apex jump there. Speaking of power of dance by Evan Rude. And it looks like Grimes is being called on a cutting the track penalty. And there's confusion on the track because
confused. Were people thinking it was called off? It was not called off.
The pack did stop. Grimes exited the track extremely slowly, and Evan Rude looked very confused, even though he was lead jammer. So my guess is that he would have been wanting to continue on that lead jammer jam, but now the Norsemen going to have to start without a lead jammer status. They're going to have to earn that all over again. And Grimes in the penalty box. Full complement to blockers for both teams. And who is jamming for the Norsemen?
For the Norsemen, we are seeing Lib Brawl. This is his first trip to the jammer line to wear that star.
And we should mention that Evan Rude grabbed 5 points on that last jam. So Norsemen bringing up their score to 24, little by little chipping away. And this is their third lead jammer status in a row here in the second half. I don't know what that halftime pep talk was, but it's working.
They heard me talking about them and saying that they like to have fun. And they were like, we need to do Loose Change proud. We're going to come out here and we're going to kick butt. I don't think they actually heard me at all, but in my own little world, I'm going to pretend I was their motivation.
They're like in the locker room trying to rewind the feed. Guys, listen.
Exactly.
Listen to Loose Change. She believes in us.
If she can believe in us, then we can believe in us too. So, Grimes is out, but not lead jammer. No pass, no penalty.
And I don't think the Dakota bench could have yelled, call it off, any louder or more in unison.
Almost like they practiced or something. I envision that as they're, taking the flight from who knows where in the Dakota areas, of just in unison going me, call it, call it, call it.
I think that's a fun thing to imagine, for sure. 228-27 out on the line. Evan Rude, who takes a spill right out of the gate, going up against Hot Fuzz, who is now your lead jammer for Lane County. Evan, oh no, just joking, not lead because of a penalty.
Evan Rude is your lead jammer. 4
lead jammer statuses in a row.
I'm totally taking credit.
And Lane County shut out so far here in the second half. We're heading, this is jam number 4. This is not an accident.
Not at all.
And we've got the pivot from Dakota, number 17, Sarcasm, heading to the penalty box. 4 points on that jam for Evan Rude. They bring their score up to 31. And I love that the crowd is yelling, "You're doing a great job!" And we have a team timeout on the track called by Lane County. Garth and Wayne gonna bring them back to focus, and we would love to tell you about some of our fantastic sponsors.
Let's chat about Hit This. Hit This Derby gear has everything that you need to get rolling, from the skates to the protective gear and everything in between. Plus, they have unmatched service for all of your derby needs. Before you hit the track, Hit This.
Don't forget to send us pictures of your pets enjoying the
Cats.
Big O.
Send us cats.
I want dogs.
I want cats.
So we have cat and dog on the mic. So
send me
you
the
gotta
pictures
send
of your
both.
cats.
I encourage ferrets, iguanas.
I would like to see a giant fish. Like who has the largest fish tank that you can set up your TV?
And
so
is it a
that
carnivorous fish? Does it eat other small fishes?
If it's not a piranha, I don't care about it. Let's be realistic.
Piranha or nothing.
I mean, if it's
You gotta
not
have standards, I mean.
Exactly. Although I will say, if you're going to send me pictures of your plants,
they better be eating a fly.
Right, exactly. Again, if they're not carnivorous, I don't care.
You're so hardcore, Luce. So hardcore.
The things you don't know about me.
We've just met. Back to the action on the track. Team timeout about to expire. And we are heading into jam number 5 with Liberal, the lone jammer on the track. Power start for Dakota.
The jammer is standing, so they've got less than 10 seconds. Less than 10 seconds before that Lane County Concussion Jammer is released, and that Lane County Concussion Jammer is released. But we've got Liberal, who is your lead jammer.
5 in a row for Dakota to grab that lead jammer status, and presumably the 5th jam in a row where they're going to be scoring points. And right now, Hot Fuzz makes that initial pass. Liberal, golden opportunity here to keep the streak alive. Gets shoved out of bounds, calls it off, and indeed he does. He grabs 2 points.
Looks like, yep, 2 points there. 2 more for them.
None for Lane.
Still none for the concussion.
There's a joke in there somewhere, but I can't.
None for concussion or just concussion in general?
I think so. Yes.
Okay.
All of the above. Next up on the line, no joking
Option
about this.
F.
C, all of the above. Dr. B jamming for Lane County, going up against Keefe for the Norsemen.
Dr. B comes up against the giant that is Han and just is like, I don't know where to go. What direction do I go?
The entire Dakota roster is giant.
Yeah, that's right. We raise them.
Norseman is apt, I'm telling you. And 6th jam in a row, Dakota with lead jammer status.
That
and
is Keefe.
Sarcasm taking himself out and hit his head there, but got up pretty quickly. Keefe calling it off before Dr. B can hit the pack. So no points on this one, but held Lane scoreless as well. And it looks like 20 Babies is not feeling great on the bench. He is kind of hugging the trash can, and I don't think that we have seen him out on the track just yet. So hope he gets better soon and is able to rejoin the action. Meanwhile, out on the track, who is jamming loose?
We've got Evan Rude out there going up against Grimes. Seen this matchup a couple times before, you know, just a couple.
Just a couple.
Grimes is through, and your lead jammer. We should practice that. That was wonderful.
Who needs practice when we're great at improv?
He used those toe stops, went on that outside line, picked up lead jammer, and 4 points before calling it off.
That's the first score for the Lane County Concussion here in the second half. 4 points courtesy of Grimes. But, you know, nothing to worry about just yet because our score is 232 to 33. Although Dakota has been making some magic happen here in the second half. So if people switched over to a different track because they're like, oh, it's a blowout, you're missing out, people.
There's still great derby to be had.
Even though I'm preaching to the choir, because if you've switched, you do not hear me criticizing. So back to the action on the track.
Keefe jamming for the Norsemen, getting caught up in a little bit of a pile-up. Friendly fire and opposing fire, giving Hot Fuzz that opportunity to pick up that lead jammer status. Hot Fuzz also hit with a little bit of friendly fire as he's trying to go around that outside line, but eventually does make it through for a full 5 points. Scooby Smack seeming to have Keefe's number.
Sarcasm with the chase to the front, and Hot Fuzz grabs a grand slam on that next scoring pass. Total of 10 so far here in jam number 8. Keefe, meanwhile, able to get past Scooby Smack, the last line of defense, and Sarcasm down again. He does not seem to be feeling super great right now. And Keefe trying to score some points, and he does. That's a big handful, 5 points for Keefe, as he is on a power jam. Dr. B in the penalty box. Keefe with a golden opportunity to make up some points. And we have lots of yelling on the track. Nobody can call it off. There's 22 seconds left in the jam. The lead jammer went to the box, and we are tied up here in jam 8, 10 all. 5 more points for Keefe.
Fuzz? Is it Hot?
Oh,
Yeah,
I said it was Dr. B. I apologize. That was actually Hot Fuzz.
it is Hot Fuzz. Hot Fuzz was released, picked up some points. Jam was called.
Things happened.
See, you were just seeing into the future because now Dr. B is going to be the jammer for the concussion.
Okay. All right. So we mentioned earlier, Dr. B has these tights that look like muscle fibers, and
He just
He
tucked
tucked
his
his jersey
jersey
in.
into it, and all you see is butt now.
butt muscles. And with that comedic note, Evan Rude jumps out in front, and he's your lead jammer. However,
Woo.
Dr. B is in the lead.
Go, Evan, go. Go, Dr. Butts, go. That's what I've decided his new name should be, Dr. Butts. It's adding
It's,
3
plural.
letter. Right.
Must be plural.
he has one butt and one butt cheek and the other butt cheek. So I'm determining that it's plural.
Alrighty. Well, on that one, Evan came out on top with 2. Dr. B, a.k.a. Dr. Butts, grabs 1 point, 247 to 49.
And a matchup we have seen before. Keefe going up against Grimes. Grimes fighting to get through to the other side of the pack where his son is waiting for him so he can save him from the zombie apocalypse. Or the walkers, excuse me.
You totally threw me off for a minute there because I was thinking, like, wait, there's family on this team? I didn't know that. Because there is on Texas. It's a dad and a stepdad. So, anyways, back to the action on the
Wait,
track.
there's a dad and a stepdad on Texas?
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, Aquadan and formerly PBJ Sweet Feet. No, that's Houston. I'll remember it at a very inopportune moment when I don't have a microphone in front of my face. So Texas men's, I'm sorry if I've forgotten people's names. Shady, don't kill me. Hot Fuzz now
Or
jamming.
Shady, come find her and kill her. Really? You got 2 options. You say don't kill me. I mean, the other option is to.
Proverbial.
Oh, okay.
Evan Rude now jamming for Dakota with some very fast footwork right off the line. He is facing off against Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz is through, and your lead jammer. Oh, and Evan Rude being assessed a penalty. Going to hang out in the penalty box for 30 seconds. Is that a high block?
Yes, that's high block.
Yeah. You don't see those very often.
I think it depends on the type of derby you're watching, because when height differential comes into the mix, you tend to see high blocks a little bit more. Sometimes
That's true.
Yeah, sometimes it's
Let me
incidental.
rephrase my sentence. I don't see that very often.
Well, we have seen this pretty often in this game so far. Hot Fuzz running around, grabbing points, makes a second scoring pass, grabs 9 points, and shuts out Dakota to 60 to 49.
Where's our pictures of animals, people?
Send them. We want them. Use the
Let-
hashtag Big O Cats and Big O Dogs, or just Big O 2018. We like that one too.
Big O fish, big O animals.
And that's O, not ol. We're not dropping the D off of saying old. Anyways, back to the action on the track. We have Dr. B, the lead jammer for Lane County, here in jam number 12.
And Keefe pushing through, attempting to push through, looking for that hole, looking for something.
And we have a star pass for Dakota. Sarcasm taking over as the jammer for the team in white. Score remains at 49 for Dakota, and Lane County took 8 on that last jam. We have Grimes and Libral out on the jam line. And we're off here in Jam 13. Grimes shoved to the outside, right out of the gate. Johnson with the jammer takeout. Nice follow through there by Dakota on the opposite side of the track. Good agility. But here's where we talked about that defensive setup being like leaving a little bit too much room on the track. What Dakota's doing is they're relying on their arm linkages, and that's exactly where the jammers get through. You got to get shoulder to shoulder or hip to hip in order to prevent that jammer from breaking through. But Grimes does break through. He is your lead jammer and has grabbed a grand slam already. Libral still trying to make that initial pass.
But Grimes picks up another 5. Rough and tumble, roll here, roll there. Everybody pops back up.
Pat getting really spread out over the course of about 40 feet. And Sarcasm, again, taking a knee on the outside of the track. Hope he's okay. And we have a star pass. Kintz, who has been solidly anchoring this defense. Grimes, nice offensive defense, I'll say. Hip checks an opponent as he heads through the pack for a grand slam on that pass. And Sarcasm pulls himself out of the jam altogether. So Dakota skating short with only 3 blockers. Grimes racking him up. 10 seconds left in the jam, and I think Kintz has is mainly just going on the defensive. Keeps getting shoved to the inside, though. Johnson bounces right off of Grimes, who grabs 4 points on that last pass. Holy cow, 39 points by Grimes in that jam. That is the highest scoring jam so far of the game. Woo!
There was a 39-point jam yesterday that I saw too. Timeout being called by the Norsemen. The Big O, this delightful weekend of roller derby action, is brought to you in part by the acclaimed Rydell Solaris. Solaris, the performance you demand, the comfort you've been missing.
Can you read another commercial in that voice, please?
Absolutely. Friends of the roller derby community, can you please send us the pictures of all of your pets enjoying the Big O action from home? You can use the hashtag BigOCats and hashtag BigODogs. We would love to see any of your furry friends.
Golf clap. Golf clap.
You're welcome. I
Beautiful,
will be here all day, friends. I will be
Beautiful
here all day.
performance.
Literally,
Very
I
nice.
will actually be here because I'm going to do this exact same thing for the next bout on this same track. So keep in touch, friends. My name is Loose Change. Find me.
Be sure to tip your waitress.
Hey-oh. Just not all the way over because she, carries stuff.
Back to the action on the track. The timeout is about to expire. And we are in jam number 14 with Evan Rude and Hot Fuzz jamming for their respective teams.
Evan Rude attempting to just find that hole. And does on the inside line. Evan Rude for the Norsemen is your lead jammer.
Evan, the jammer from Dakota, that grabs lead jammer status most frequently. And now we have Hot Fuzz through that pack and eligible to score points, but Evan Rude in control of that clock. Now Dakota looks like they have lost a few players to the back bench. I'm assuming that means they are not ready to go.
I liked how you said fur.
That was
instead of 4.
The southern slipped out.
I know. I
Yeah.
liked it.
It happens.
It
doesn't happen very often.
Are you
but it
ready for
happens.
this?
Are you gonna go Minnesota?
Oh, sure. Don't ya know?
Oh, don't you know?
Oh, golly gee. Let me go ahead and bring you over a hot dish.
That was
eh? Yeah.
that was my grandma. She did that too. For crying in the mud. Number 69, Dr. B jamming for Lane County.
Look at all those muscles go.
Would you look at it? Just look at it.
Meanwhile, we've got Keefe clearing the pack, so he has made his initial pass, but Dr. B calls it off.
4 points for Dr. B before calling off that jam. And it looks like Dakota actually grabbed a few points on that last jam when Evan Rude was the lead jammer. I just did not communicate that. They are currently at 54 points.
To Lane County's 311.
Back to the action on the track. Once again, Evan Rude jamming for the Norsemen. And he is facing off against a human ping pong ball, or human pinball. This time, that is Photobomb.
This is the first time Photobomb has been has come with the star, correct?
Yeah, it is actually.
Oh, sad to see. This looks like Evan Rude was assessed another high block or head block high. Yep, high.
It's a high block.
It's a high block.
Blocking with the head is a different.
Yeah, that's the head. That's the back. That symbol.
5 points for Photobomb on this pass. Now coming back for a second scoring pass on a power jam. 5 more points
for Photobomb. I like the fact that I actually do this. Like the people at home watching can see the sign that I'm making. Because of course you totally can through the power of microphones.
I like that Photobomb and his team score is currently 3-2-1.
Ooh, stop scoring points, guys. 3-2-1.
Just
That's
leave
great.
it. Just leave it.
If we start at the Norsemen and go, it's 5-4-3-2-1.
Oh, that's true. If they were flipped, it'd be great. But what's not great is we have Evan Rude again being sent out on a cutting the track penalty right after he came out of the penalty box. So that's not good for Dakota. However, those blockers are not giving up. Libral and Han laying chase to Photobomb as he grabs another 5 points and throws off our cool pattern on the scoreboard.
20 babies out there blocking, attempting to be that final wall.
Hey, guys, you're only allowed to have 5 on the track at a time. I mean, 20 just seems unfair.
I mean, yeah, the thing is, they're not going to be the best. They're not going to be the best blockers either because they really can't do anything. Like, they're just going to lay there and be in the way.
You're just in the way. Hey, passive blocking is effective sometimes too. But my question is, if there's 20 babies out on the track and they're helping to block,
where
do
are
you
all
get
of the
20
parents?
points? That's for another day. I was going to say, does the opposing team get 20 points for passing all of the 20 babies?
I mean, there's a lot of questions that having 20 babies is going to rise because, like, you know, you can only roster 15.
Yeah.
You can only have, so let's just start there.
And let's focus on Grimes, who is currently your lead jammer for Lane County after a spin move at the front of the pack. And he is going up against Evan Rude, who just spent the last jam with 2 trips to the penalty box. But now it's Grimes' turn.
Grimes will be reporting for a back block penalty, so he will spend 30 seconds there.
And Grimes was the lead jammer, but now that status has been forfeited. And Evan Rude on a power jam. Let's see if he can keep it clean. Keeps it clean, but also is bending into all kinds of contortive poses trying to get through that pack.
I've seen them bend before, and I still feel like Gumby would be jealous.
This is why cross-training is important. Yoga, kids.
Oh,
and
man.
Evan is now stopped. Rather than trying to pursue the pack, he's completely at a standstill at turn 1, waiting for Grimes to re-enter the fray.
looked like he was trying to catch his breath a little bit.
Yeah, but do that when you're not on an opportunity to score points uncontested. I don't know. I can't assume. Everybody has their own strategy.
We don't know what's going on in Evan's head.
True, other than he might be dizzy because he just did 5 spin moves in a row.
I was going to say, that's like an 820 or like a 960 or something.
And we've got 5 points for both Grimes and Evan Rude. Evan looking awfully winded. 16 seconds left in the jam, and Grimes blazes through on the inside lane for 4 points. Evan Rude trying to fight his way through, but gets shoved to the outside. Oh my goodness, Grimes. Dakota tries to set up a solid wall, and Grimes just turned 90 degrees and slid through sideways right through the middle of the pack. That was actually kind of impressive. 14 points for Lane County on that one, 10 for Dakota. 350 to 64, Lane County in the lead with 5 minutes remaining. We're heading into jam number 18. I'm Scarlett O'Hurtya.
I'm Loose Change.
And we are glad to have you here at Big O. This is track 3.
Here's my question for you, Scarlett. So we got Dr. B. He's jamming for the Concussion. We've got Keefe out there jamming for the Norsemen. What do you think the front of Dr. B's leggings look like?
Muscles.
But whose muscles and how in detail?
A generic human anatomy model from like it's just muscles. That's all, just muscles. I'm gonna leave it at that, and we're gonna move on. Dr. B still jamming, and he is your lead jammer. Keefe, however, still stuck in that pack on that initial pass. 5 points for Dr. B on this go round. I actually know people that have those pants, both male and female. Keefe stuck behind 2 jammers in the front of the pack. That is number 5.
Sergeant Pepper.
Thank you. Go and tag teaming with Photobomb up in the front to hold back Keefe. And the nice assist there by Scooby Smack. And we've got Sergeant Pepper heading to the penalty box for 2 penalties. So Lane going to be at a disadvantage in terms of blockers for a bit. And Kent's now heading to the penalty box as well. Dr. B forced to recycle and seems to like the restart. Keefe now through that pack and eligible to score points.
Dr. B calls it off, but not before picking up another 4 points. Looks like a total of 19. Hot Fuzz going up against Evan Rude, but first, a timeout. What would you like me to talk about this time, Scarlett?
How would I do it? So Hit This is one of our wonderful sponsors for this weekend. Hit This Derby gear has everything you need to get rolling, from skates to protective gear and unmatched service for all of your derby needs. Before you hit the track, hit this! ! We have a team timeout called by Dakota. Less than 3 minutes left in the half, 368 to 64. And despite the scoreboard currently, this has been a really fun game.
This has been a delight. Those Norsemen, they sure know how to play some good, fun roller derby.
And as we get back to the action on the track here momentarily, we've got some bro hugging on the track.
Aww.
Liberal hugging it out with the entire pack from Lane County. Sans 1, that's in the penalty box. That's Sergeant Pepper. So Lane going to start with 3 blockers, but Dakota also starting with 3 blockers.
I love the roller derby love. It always makes me happy inside.
We love the love.
When it's the hugging and the high fives and the, hey bro, I see you.
I see you, bro. I see you. Well, I see Hot Fuzz grabbing lead jammer status out in the front of the pack. Jam number 19. And we've got Evan Rude still trying to make his way through on that initial pass. Nice spin move to the outside in the apex between turn 1 and 2.
Evan Rude coming up against AO. Clears AO and is coming eligible to score points. That is the word I was looking to use.
Now Evan and Hot Fuzz neck and neck, toe to toe. Evan trying to call it off, but he's not the lead jammer. That belonged to Hot Fuzz, I believe.
I thought it did too.
So 4 points on that one for Lane County. We're coming to the conclusion of this lovely game here. Got lots of derby left this weekend on all 3 tracks.
Oh, new jammer being fielded for the concussion. That is Scooby Smack.
And she's going up against Keefe, not a new jammer. And I thought that was sarcasm going, taking that hard spill, but
that is
still,
liberal.
He's still on the, oh, that was an interesting move by Grimes.
That was a hop backwards.
He hopped backwards over the apex in order to force an opponent to recycle further while the rest of the pack was moving forward. That was impressive, Mr. Grimes.
It was very impressive.
Scooby Smack with a grand slam on that scoring pass. Grimes heading to the penalty box. Both pivots in the penalty box at the moment. Scooby Smack finding some space on the inside lane. Again, the Norsemen just not hugging those edges. And Keefe sent to the penalty box, so Scooby Smack is on a power jam. Beautiful footwork there. Scooby Smack with a quick inversion. Flips back on one skate to get past those opposing blockers and grabs a grand slam.
Scooby Smack hit out there by Colonel Angus. Colonel Angus being assessed a forearm penalty.
Very physical pack. Scooby Smack getting shoved to the infield, and Keefe out of the box, taking out blockers in his wake. Making his way through that pack, wants to score a last few points. The period clock has expired. 15 seconds left on the jam clock. And done. Scooby Smack taking yet another grand slam on that last jam. 25 points for Scooby Smack. And we're going to close out the game. Looks like 397 to 64.
And hugs all around, not only amongst the Norsemen themselves and amongst the Lane County Concussion, but with each other as well.
Dakota Norsemen putting up a valiant effort against the Lane County Concussion, are the brother hosts for this here tournament, Big O 2018. So we will refrain from a ton of analysis. Anything you'd like to add to the mix, Luce?
Roller derby's fun.
Indeed it is. As long as you can keep it fun, even games like this, they've got their high points.
Totally.
So Dakota managed to more than, I can't do math, but I think it's quadruple. I think they quadrupled their score here in the second half. Yeah, I can't do math. That's fine. But they started off this half with 16 points, now ending at 64. Lane County doing what they've done throughout the entire game. But I will say Dakota, the defensive effort was also really solid because Lane County came out of that first half with 228 points, ended it with 397. So they didn't double their score.
We're currently looking at a giant hug line where every Lane member is hugging every Norseman.
You guys are so nice.
It's so adorable.
It's really cute, actually. With that being said, we hope you have enjoyed this lovely game here at Big O 2018. Remember to keep talking to us online with the hashtag Big O 2018.
And if you're interested in some more sweet roller derby action, stick around because at 4 o'clock Eastern, we will have the Wheels of Mayhem. Pacific. Where am I again?
We're in beautiful Eugene, Oregon.
That's right. I'm on the wrong coast, apparently, in my brain. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Way to go, Loose. Wheels of Mayhem will be taking on the Collision in another delightful men's roller derby bout.
We hope to have you watching that game as well. We've got games on track 2 and 1 as well. All evening long, day 3 here at Big O 2018. I have been Scarlett O'Hurtya.
I am still Loose Change.
And we will see you soon. Thanks for joining.